Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders find themselves navigating a delicate situation with their star wide receiver Terry McLaurin, whose contract status has stirred significant attention in the NFL world. Since being drafted in the third round back in 2019, McLaurin quickly established himself as an indispensable asset, earning the affectionate nickname Scary Terry for his explosive plays and relentless pursuit of the football. His consistent production, 5 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons, has cemented his role as Washington's offensive linchpin. Yet despite the on-field success and clear chemistry with the team, contract negotiations have hit a stumbling block, with McLaurin pushing for a lucrative extension that the franchise has hesitated to immediately grant. This tension reflects not only the financial realities of NFL contracts, but also the complexities of balancing player value, age considerations, and salary cap implications in a league where every dollar counts and every decision has ripple effects. McLaurin's situation is further complicated by his approaching 30th birthday, an age where many receivers face a decline in production, making teams wary of committing massive sums long term. His current deal leaves him with just 1 year remaining and a base salary of $15 million, which is substantial but arguably not reflective of his elite performance. Reports indicate McLaurin desires a contract extension that would pay him upwards of $30 million annually, aligning him closer to the top echelon of NFL receivers. The gap between his demands and the Commanders' offer stalled talks earlier in the offseason, leading to McLaurin publicly requesting a trade. This dramatic development seemed poised to shake up the franchise's plans and raised questions about whether Washington was ready to lose its most reliable offensive weapon after years of development and loyalty. However, the Commanders quickly shifted their stance once the trade request became public, realizing the profound impact McLaurin has had on their offense and the difficulty of replacing a player of his caliber. The team made it clear they have no intention of moving him for anything less than what they deem appropriate value. The organization's unwillingness to trade him underscores his importance not just statistically, but also culturally within the locker room and the fan base. ESPN's Dan Graziano confirmed this stance, revealing that the Commanders are actively working to mend the rift and continue negotiating toward a contract extension. This renewed focus on reconciliation suggests that both parties might be motivated to find common ground, ensuring McLaurin remains a central figure in Washington's plans moving forward. The recent playoff success the Commanders enjoyed has also influenced the dynamic between McLaurin and the franchise. Last season, McLaurin finally experienced postseason victories, defeating the Buccaneers in the wild-card round and upsetting the Detroit Lions in a divisional round, milestones that added significant value to his tenure with Washington. These wins highlight that the team is entering a competitive phase, which reduces McLaurin's incentive to seek a fresh start elsewhere. After enduring some of the franchise's toughest seasons, his perseverance has been rewarded with a tangible path to success, including the opportunity to connect with promising young quarterback Jayden Daniels. The synergy between McLaurin and Daniels could define the Commanders' offensive identity for years, providing a compelling reason for the receiver to stay and reap the benefits of their growing chemistry. Financial considerations aside, McLaurin's desire for a contract reflecting his true worth is understandable. His rookie contract paid him less than $1 million annually, a stark contrast to what he now demands given his elite level of play. The jump from a modest rookie salary to a high-value veteran contract is a natural progression for players of his caliber, especially after consistently proving his ability to perform at a top-tier level. While the Commanders may not match the astronomical figures earned by players like Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, the team's offer is expected to place McLaurin among the highest-paid receivers in the league. Such a deal would not only reward his past production, but also ensure his financial security as he enters the latter stages of his career, recognizing his value both on and off the field. Still, The negotiation isn't simply about dollars. It's about fitting McLaurin's contract into the Commanders' broader salary cap strategy and team-building philosophy. Washington is cautiously navigating its roster construction, trying to balance spending on key players while maintaining flexibility to address other needs. The franchise's hesitation to immediately meet McLaurin's high demands likely reflects an attempt to maintain a sustainable salary cap structure that can support multiple contributors. This careful approach is common among NFL teams facing similar situations with star players nearing the end of their contracts. It's a balancing act where the desire to retain talent must be weighed against the need for overall team competitiveness and depth across multiple positions. From McLaurin's perspective, staying in Washington has distinct advantages beyond just financial considerations. He has built a strong identity with the team, becoming the face of the franchise and a favorite among fans. His role as the primary offensive weapon allows him to showcase his skills consistently, while the arrival of Jaden Daniels offers a promising connection that could elevate both players' careers. Additionally, Washington's recent playoff runs demonstrate that the team is heading in the right direction, making it less appealing for McLaurin to start anew elsewhere. In this light, the ongoing contract talks represent not just a business negotiation, but a pivotal moment where McLaurin must weigh loyalty, legacy, and opportunity. The Commanders' determination to retain McLaurin sends a clear message about their ambitions moving forward. They view him not only as a top receiver, but also as a cornerstone player around whom they can build a sustained contender. His presence on the roster boosts the team's credibility and morale, signaling to fans and opponents alike that Washington is serious about competing at the highest level. This mutual understanding between player and franchise creates a fertile ground for reaching a deal that satisfies both parties. The negotiations may be tense, but the underlying respect and shared goals make it likely that McLaurin will remain a Commander's star for years to come, helping the team chase greater success. In summary, the saga of Terry McLaurin and the Washington Commanders reflects the complex realities of NFL contract negotiations where talent, timing, and team dynamics intersect. McLaurin's rise from a third-round pick to an elite receiver underscores his value, while his trade request highlights the challenges players face seeking recognition and compensation. The Commanders' refusal to trade him and ongoing efforts to extend his contract reveal a franchise committed to building around its proven performers. As the offseason progresses, the balance between McLaurin's financial aspirations and the Commanders' strategic goals will shape the future of both the player and the team. For now, the star wideout remains at the heart of Washington's offensive ambitions, poised to continue making an impact under the bright lights of the NFL stage. Looking ahead, the resolution of McLaurin's contract situation will likely set the tone for the Commanders' upcoming season and beyond. If a deal is struck, it would stabilize the team's receiving core and signal to the league that Washington is intent on retaining its core talent. Failure to reach an agreement, however, could lead to protracted tension and potential distractions, which neither side wants as they prepare for the competitive grind of the NFL season. Ultimately, the narrative of Scary Terry is one of perseverance, talent, and negotiation. A story that embodies the intersection of sportsmanship and business. That defines professional football. Fans, analysts, and teammates will all be watching closely as this chapter unfolds, hopeful that Washington and McLaurin find common ground and continue their journey together. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. There's a growing buzz swirling around the NFL universe that has fans and insiders alike whispering about a blockbuster move, possibly unfolding soon. Demeco Ryans, the head coach of the Washington Commanders, might be setting his sights on none other than Derek Stingley Jr., the talented cornerback currently with the Houston Texans. The chatter has it that Ryans, who knows Stingley from their previous encounters and shares a defensive mindset, could be orchestrating a trade or some kind of deal to bring this promising young player to Washington. The Texans, still figuring out their future direction after some recent roster shakeups, may be tempted to listen to any offers involving Stingley, given his immense potential but also injury concerns. Ryans, known for valuing defensive prowess, and lockdown coverage could see Stingley as the missing piece to shore up the Commanders' secondary. This potential move, if true, might mark a significant shift in the team's defensive strategy and overall NFL landscape. Rumors have been flying around sports circles that Demeco Ryans is eyeing a cornerback who can change the game, and Derek. Stingley fits that profile perfectly. Stingley, who dazzles scouts and fans alike coming out of LSU, has faced some bumps in the road, mostly due to injuries, which may have stalled his career trajectory. However, those close to the Texans' locker room say his talent is undeniable when he's healthy, and that could make him a hot commodity in trade talks. The Commanders' defensive woes have been glaring, and a fresh infusion of talent like Stingley could be exactly what Ryans wants to spark a turnaround. Some insiders speculate that the Texans might be willing to part ways if they receive a promising offer, especially considering the pressure to rebuild quickly and optimize draft capital. It's this combination of talent, opportunity, and team needs that has the rumor mill turning over potential trade scenarios involving these two teams. Sources close to the situation suggest that the Commanders have already made preliminary inquiries about Stingley's availability, fueling speculation that a deal might be closer than most expect. While nothing official has been confirmed, the timing makes sense. Teams often try to strike before the offseason frenzy intensifies. The Texans' front office reportedly is evaluating how to maximize value from players who have shown flashes but also uncertainty, and Stingley fits that mold. Ryan's defensive schemes could be the perfect fit for Stingley's skill set, offering him a chance to thrive under a coach who understands how to leverage cornerback strengths in both man and zone coverages. Analysts who have watched both teams closely hint that the Commanders' pursuit of Stingley could be a strategic masterstroke if it comes to fruition, blending youth with experience on the back end. Insiders who follow the Texans' internal discussions say that Stingley's injury history has been a sticking point for negotiations, but the Commanders are reportedly ready to gamble on his upside. The appeal for Washington isn't just his athleticism, it's the potential to build a secondary around a young, dynamic cornerback with a high ceiling. Meanwhile, the Texans might be seeking draft picks or players that can contribute immediately, and the rumor mill hints at various potential trade packages that could satisfy both sides. There's a growing narrative that Ryans, known for his defensive acumen, could coax the best out of Stingley, transforming him from a player with question marks into a cornerstone of the Commanders' defense. This situation continues to be a topic of intense debate among NFL insiders, with many eager to see if this high-stakes gamble actually materializes. The buzz extends beyond just the team front offices. Fans and analysts on social media have been lighting up with speculation about what this move could mean for both franchises. Some suggest that bringing Stingley to Washington could immediately elevate the team's secondary, turning it into one of the more feared units in the league. Others raise concerns about whether Stingley can stay healthy long enough to make a consistent impact. If Ryans can unlock that durability and tap into Stingley's elite talent, the Commanders might finally have the kind of shutdown corner they've desperately needed. At the same time, the Texans' willingness to entertain trade offers shows their commitment to reshaping the roster with a long-term vision. And letting go of a talented player like Stingley could be a sign of serious rebuilding ahead. Word is that the Commanders could be leveraging some of their own assets, be it draft picks, role players, or even future considerations, to entice the Texans into parting with Stingley. This potential exchange has caught the attention of league watchers who understand how rare it is for a young cornerback with Stingley's pedigree to be on the market. Ryan's defensive background and relationship with the player could be the intangible factor that seals the deal. Many believe that if the Commanders follow through, it's a statement that they are committed to winning now, betting on a player whose prime years could align perfectly with the team's projected window of contention. The Texans, conversely, may see this as an opportunity to pivot and acquire resources that fit their longer-term strategy, marking a clear divide in team philosophies. Behind the scenes, talks are reportedly ongoing, and the dialogue appears serious. Not just casual noise, league insiders indicate that both sides are doing their due diligence, with medical evaluations and performance analytics being scrutinized thoroughly before any agreement can be finalized. This cautious approach suggests that while the potential for a trade is very real, is contingent on several factors aligning, including player health and contract considerations. If the Commanders succeed, they may have secured one of the NFL's brightest young defensive stars just as he looks ready to break out. Conversely, the Texans could be positioning themselves for a future that prioritizes flexibility and draft capital, a classic move for teams in rebuild mode. The conversation around Demeco Ryans and Derek Stingley has also sparked talk about how this move could influence the rest of the league. Other teams watching the Commanders might consider similar gambles on players with high upside but injury histories, especially if the trade results in immediate on-field improvement. Ryan's boldness in pursuing Stingley could set a precedent for aggressive roster moves centered around coaching vision and player potential. The ripple effects might extend to free agency and the draft, where cornerbacks and defensive backs will be evaluated through the lens of what Stingley might accomplish if given the right environment. For now, though, the speculation remains just that, a tantalizing possibility hanging over the NFL landscape. Fans from both Houston and Washington are eagerly awaiting any official word, and the social media landscape has been buzzing nonstop with theories, memes, and hopeful commentary. Some Commanders fans are dreaming about the kind of lockdown defense Stingley could help build, while Texan supporters debate whether the team is making the right call letting a player with such talent potentially walk. Sports talk shows and podcasts have picked up the story, adding fuel to the fire and dissecting every small detail about the possible transaction. Whether or not this trade happens, the chatter around it is a clear sign that Derek Stingley remains one of the most intriguing young talents in the NFL, and Demeco Ryans might just be the coach who takes a chance on unlocking his full potential. As the NFL offseason looms, all eyes will be on the Commanders and Texans to see if this whispered trade moves from rumor to reality. Should the deal go through, it could reshape not only these teams, but the competitive balance in a division and beyond. Stingley's move to Washington would come with high expectations, and Ryan's coaching style would be tested to maximize this gifted cornerback's skills. Meanwhile, the Texans would need to capitalize on whatever assets they gain in return, making their rebuilding process more dynamic. For now, though, fans and analysts alike can only wait and wonder, will Demeco Ryans really pull off this daring move? Or is this just another NFL offseason fantasy that will fade away with time? The suspense is real, and the story is far from over. Thanks for tuning in to District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.